Hi, I'm astrologer Penny Dix, and welcome to another Astrobite. And today is a Wednesday, January the 8th already. And I'm going to be talking about the planet Mercury. Mercury, our planet of communication, our planet who is the messenger of the gods, and of course rules the sign of Gemini, which is all about communication, overthinking, and all those wonderful things that we get into sometimes. But Mercury also rules Virgo, where it gets quite caught up in the intricacies and the kind of little tiny details of everything when it's in that sign. So why am I talking about Mercury today? Well, because Mercury is actually moving into the sign of Capricorn, which is really actually rather interesting because Capricorn is an earth sign. It's structured. It is, it initiates because it's a cardinal sign. And I just feel that Capricorn is not that bad a place for Mercury to be at present, because I think one of the things that is needed on the world stage, for example, is some deliberate, well thought through, structured communication. It feels as if everything has got a little bit overheated. And that could be in part due to Mars retrograde in Cancer. And, you know, Mars is still basically loosely opposite Pluto, our planet of transformation, even though Pluto is already at 1 degree of Aquarius. Pluto and Mars in opposition are firing things up. And I think every day in the news at the moment, we are just seeing things that just kind of, it's like, and now what? And then what? And what's going to happen next? Now, Mercury in the event chart is actually at the mid-heaven of the chart. So this is about what is out there on the public stage. So I do think it's very much about sensitive communication that our world leaders and governments need to try and indulge in. And on a personal level, I really feel that communication is going to fare better now that we have Mercury in this sign for a while. The reason being is that Capricorn takes its time. Mercury can tend to rush. It rushes here, it rushes there, it rushes all over the place. It's up and down between the overworld and the underworld. It's the only messenger, the only god that can travel between the overworld and the underworld and take messages down to Hades and Pluto and Persephone. So Mercury in this sign, which is ruled, of course, by Saturn, which is Cronus, the god of time. Mercury here has timing. This is knowing when to say the right thing at the right time. And it may well be that over the last few weeks, especially with this Mars-Pluto opposition, you have experienced some difficulties or anomalies in personal relationships or business relationships or with family, with friends, because there's a lot of energy at the moment that is pushing buttons. And it's so much about being able to respond and not react. Mercury in Capricorn, I think, will enable us to respond and take a step back and breathe rather than react knee-jerk communication to another and cause mayhem and confusion. So I actually think if you have had any difficulties with communication of late, with anyone, then whilst Mercury moves through the sign of Capricorn, which it has entered today, January the 8th, this would be a good time to tackle some of those issues and kind of clear the air and make everything a little bit more smooth. So our word for the day really did have to be communication, which I'll come to in a minute, because I'm just going to have just a quick scan to see if there's anything else in today's energy that I really want to highlight. And I suppose, well, the moon is actually already in Taurus and has already gone past being in a nice trine to Mercury. So actually the moon is also saying that you can communicate with sensitivity and empathy. So Wednesday the 8th, really good day to have those difficult conversations, because they will go more smoothly and have a better outcome. And I think there's also something about the fact that, we're coming up to a full moon in Cancer on the 13th. And that's going to be quite a tough full moon, because the full moon is going to be conjunct Mars. So there's going to be a little kind of window there where you don't want that window to open, because Mars is going to be pushing all your buttons on a communication level within relationships. The saving grace will be to remember, Mercury is in Capricorn. Take my time, think about it, slow down, stick to the facts, stick to the evidence. Don't be liberal with the creativity of what is a kind of unreliable truth, because I think sometimes we overtalk and overshare when we are trying to create a truth that is palpable and acceptable and digestible. So shall we have a look at our word for the day, communication? Because I found some quotes which I thought might give us some food for thought. So the first one is by George Bernard Shaw. And it is: the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Something to think about. John Powell said, communication works for those who work at it. Now that is very much Mercury in Capricorn. Communication works for those who work at it. Think before you speak. Listen before you respond. One of the things that was drummed into me and my fellow students when I was training as a psychotherapist was active listening. Listen to what is being said to you and give yourself time to respond. James Hume said, the art of communication is the language of leadership. If you think about it, the people we listen to are the people who have a good way with words and communication. Nat Turner said, good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. And that's true. Rudyard Kipling said, words are, of course, the most powerful drug used by mankind. Well, that really fits in with social media, doesn't it? You know, we have to be so discerning with what we are fed on social media. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read. Don't believe everything I say. It's just my opinion. I give you my idea and sense and opinion of the astrology, but I don't have to be right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong, but my view of the astrology of the day and of Mercury in Capricorn may be different from another astrologer's view. Doesn't make either of us right or wrong, just different. You know, Jim Rohn said effective communication is 20% what you know and 80% how you feel about what you know. Can't say his name. EPIC, Epictetus. There we go. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Well, we certainly have to listen twice to his name before we can speak it. Tony Gaskins said, "Communication to a relationship is like oxygen to life. Without it, it dies." And ain't that the truth? Relationships have to be worked at every time you are together, even when you're not together. They have to be worked at every day. Relationships don't just happen. When things go awry, it's best to nip them in the bud and sort them out straight away. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, "Speak clearly if you speak at all. Carve every word before you let it fall." That is very good kind of counsel. And it's true also for what we write, because messages written in haste and sent can be misrepresented, misunderstood, and cause a lot of damage. Whereas if we think about what we're writing, and if we're not sure, don't send it. Wait, come back to it, look at it again, think about it. Is it right? Maybe it's not. And if you're really not sure, delete it. Peter Drucker said, "The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said." Now that is a great truth. So on that note, I will bring this short Astrobite to a close. Just a little short, quick one. And on Thursday, which is, as it's Wednesday today, that means that's tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live with conscious medium Brandon Russ. It's at 6 o'clock in the evening, Central European time, which means that it is streamed live on his channel and also on my channel. And we're going to be looking at what's going on in the world today, because there's a lot that needs to be discussed. So on that note, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And I really look forward to seeing you again for another Astrobite and for some more videos. Take care, have a great day, communicate thoughtfully, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye.